In just 39 days, ancient China switched from 3 dynasties, from the Ming to the Shun, and finally to the Qing. It started with the rebel leader Li Zicheng, who stormed into Beijing as the Ming Dynasty's last emperor hung himself in Jingshan, north of the Forbidden City. Zicheng then quickly took the throne to claim the Shun Dynasty, but over the next few weeks, his army carried out the new dynasty maliciously by torturing surrendered Ming officials, extorting their money, and looting the city. As a result, and not long after, General Wu Sangui of the Ming Dynasty opened China's doors to northern invaders as a last-ditch effort to eliminate the Shun Dynasty. He opened the gate located at the east end of the Great Wall called the Shanghai Pass, giving way for the Manchurians to flood the city. Soon, the Shun Dynasty ended with the beginning of the Qing Dynasty. What helped Li Zicheng's rebels? It's important to note, however, that Li Zicheng's army wasn't doing well early on. So, what changed to allow them victory? By comparing other information to the same historical period, it's apparent the 1641 deadly plague was a large determining factor. In 1641, a plague resurged in the Ming Dynasty and spread to cities known today as Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei, Jiangsu, Zhejiang, Shanghai, Shandong, Henan, and Anhui areas. While in some places only 1 in 10 households survived, the plague hit Beijing the hardest, where the death toll was tens of thousands every day. And by April 1644, Li Zicheng besieged Beijing as the crippled city was unable to resist his takeover. Putting 2 and 2 together, it's easy to see that the plague contributed to the end of the Ming Dynasty. But did Li Zicheng's rebels require quarantine? No. Did they wear personal protection equipment? No. Were they told to wash their hands often? No. Did they practice social distancing? No. Were there any city lockdowns? No. And did they shut down all businesses? No. What disease was the 1641 plague? The 1641 plague was caused by bacteria spread through breathing and contact, and showed combined symptoms of both pneumatic and bubonic plagues. In addition, records reveal the plague's infectivity and danger level were higher than those of the current coronavirus, also known as the CCP virus. The Chongzhen records state, China's capital experienced an epidemic with a death toll numbering tens of thousands every day. The death toll in Beijing City was about 40% or higher. Ming Ji Beilü, a book about the transition between Ming and Qing dynasties, contains accounts of the plague. Cao in the Ming military welcomed a guest for tea. He then picked up the teacup and gestured the guest to drink tea just before dying right there. 2 people were chatting while riding horses, one trailing the other. At one moment, the person in the back asked a question, but the person in the front didn't answer. After waiting a while, the person in the back realized that the person in the front was dead, with his dead body still perfectly atop the horse. Did Li Zicheng and his army get infected? Strangely, however, Li Zicheng's rebels were not affected and even fought at the Shanghai Pass against Wu Sangui's army 31 days after entering the city. Historical documents recorded that Li's soldiers exhibited great fighting power, showing that the plague didn't affect Li's rebels. How did Li's army maintain such a strong fighting force at the Shanghai Pass after taking over Beijing a month ago? Conquering a city devastated by the epidemic, Li's army seemed to develop immunity from the pneumonic plague. What caused this plague in history to target the Ming Dynasty only? Was it a mandate of heaven? This involved a great sin in the Ming Dynasty, another story that will be continued.